I was supposed to already be clicked. What's going on, guys? Welcome to I don't know what to call it yet, but we are going to be looking at TO, who, man, life is weird. Life is really weird because I mentioned that I went golfing last weekend, and I was golfing on a pretty nice course, and they won't let you golf two at a time because if it's booked up, they have to pair you in a foursome. So we ended up getting paired with these two guys, and when you're on the course, you make a lot of small talk. And I think we were on probably like the 10th hole, and then we really started talking. He was like asking me questions about the military, and then I asked him what he does, and he's a financial advisor. And I was like, "Oh, that's awesome." And my uncle made a comment, and he was like, "Oh, don't worry, I'm too broke to need your services," uh, jokingly. And then he said, You laugh, but you'd be surprised how many athletes end up going broke, how many athletes end up losing their money." And my dad, his neighborhood, about maybe a year ago today, you can go on YouTube and find this. My dad called me and was like, "Dude, do you hear the news?" And I was like, "No." And he was like, "Dude, so yesterday I was coming home and I come through the gate and there's like 4 or 5 police officers, and TO is arguing with this white girl. Uh, the internet would call this chick a Karen." So well, first off, I was like, "TO's your neighbor? Can can he come on the podcast?" But TO had, I guess, multiple houses, and it makes sense because I was saying it like, "TO is your neighbor?" Like, my dad had a nice house, it sold for, like, I don't know, it just sold, they just moved, but it was like almost 700,000. So, but Terrell Owens is a millionaire, right? In my head, I'm like, "This isn't adding up." Like, you got a nice place, and don't get me wrong, like, it's a really it's a really nice place. It's just Terrell Owens, you know what I mean? Like the megastar, the guy in the middle of the stadium opening up his arms as a 49er, the guy in the cover of NFL ESPN, what was it called? ESPN 2K5. That's what it was. Just growing up, he was an absolute legend. There's like Randy Moss, there's Chad Ochocinco, and there's T.O. So in my head, I just always assumed that T.O. would be in LA, living, in Beverly Hills or maybe New York City or someplace like that. I didn't expect him to be in Fort Lauderdale or Deerfield Beach, rather. Fort Lauderdale would even make more sense, but he's in Deerfield Beach. Then the story comes out today, right? Which kind of merges both of what I was just saying together.
You wrote in your book, the quote, "When I saw the true state of my finances, I realized that I did not have the financial security that I thought I had." And that was back in, I think, 2004, 2005, around the time that you were switching agents, I believe. At that time, like, how much of a difference was there between, like, what you thought you had versus what you actually had?
I think it was a considerable difference considering, like I said, I had played with San Fran for 8 years and then obviously got a new contract with the Philadelphia Eagles. And so, again, just me just not being smart enough, responsible enough to be on top of my financial situation. And especially when the thing is I opened up and I trusted, the people that were around me, that were around my family, and they looked my family in the eyes, my brothers and sisters, and when they spoke to me, I felt like they were speaking to them, that they would have my best interest at heart. And so, that was really eye-opening to understand, my financial state at that time, and
Too bad. And by the way, welcome to NFL with Kyle. We just got a name, so thanks, Bill. But yeah, makes sense. Somebody, and To says like I could have been more responsible. it's just a real shame that there are people out there that take advantage. Like, and I understand, like, you can't put all this on somebody else, but think about it. Somebody goes to college, to be a financial advisor or an accountant or what have you. And here comes a guy that's made over $80 million in his entire career. And somehow you're not able to at least maintain it. Now, I'm not an expert financially, but recently I have been, um, talking to my bank about putting money into. Holy crap! I'm drawing a blank right now. Basically, it increases annually, like 4% interest. So I loan it to somebody else, right, and then I get the interest off of it. I'm forgetting what it's called right now. It's a blank account. Um, so I'm watching. I think it was even on Hard Knocks, but you do the numbers, and you're like, if somebody makes $1 million, you can literally just take and you and is that's see that word's a little different. Hold on, let me. So that word's probably what I'm thinking of. Bank account. Let's see here. Do. Bank. I guess it would be to grow money. So it would be like a yield account, I guess. I'm forgetting what it's called, but Navy Federal has it. Every bank, I'm pretty sure every bank I've been with has it. And they say the rich get richer. And in some cases, that involves the rich taking advantage of people that should be rich, like Terrell Owens. And you could simply just take, like, let's say you're on a plan that grows at 5%. You take $1 million, put it in an account. That's like 5%. That'd be like what? Five, just no, $50,000, I believe. Can't do numbers right now. Hold on. I'm actually really good at numbers, which is weird that I'm struggling with numbers right now. Um, so 5% of $1 million is it was right. It's $50,000. Okay. So, like, at a bare minimum, he should be at least making like $50,000, like in the ballpark, um, with the amount of money that he would be able to put in these type of accounts. And then what you do is then you take the $50,000 that you've made and then you put that money in an account. And yeah, that's going to make a lot less money, but you also get your million back. Like, there's so many ways for rich people to get rich. And there's OPMs, which is other people's money. So when people don't have good enough credit to borrow from the bank, you can borrow from them with collateral, like their house. But there's more risk there for the person lending. Therefore, the interest is higher. There's so many paths that he could have taken. So I have to believe that it's a little bit of both. Like, it's a little bit that Terrell Owens was young. And trust me, if I was young with millions of dollars, I would have made all the same mistakes. I can guarantee it 100% because I know the way that I was when I was in my 20s. And it would have, I might have died. Who knows? So I don't say any of this with any judgment, but it is pretty shocking that somebody can make $84 million and have nothing. I was actually really sad when I heard it because we're talking about generational wealth. This isn't even, it's not about just being rich for you. It's like, it's about changing, the future generations. I mean, you can do so much with $84 million. And T.O. comes out and says that he doesn't have any. Now, that question that was asked to him was actually not a journalist being intrusive or anything like that. It was actually T.O. that wrote about this in his book. And he says, you mentioned in your book before he asked the question. So T.O. has already been, I guess, open and public about this, but they just did this interview. So, wow. And this isn't the, the going to be the last time we hear about this. This is something that is going to go on, but hopefully with T.O. taking this public, I know probably most people don't want to do that because, I mean, is there anything worse than telling the world that you're broke? No, but some good can come from it because now younger kids can hear these type of stories and it'd be like, okay, well, how do I not make the same mistakes that you made? And I'm sure To, that was a part of the reason he decided to disclose that with the public, because he did not have to by any means. So moving on to the Joe Flacco news. Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco did his introductory press conference today, and he mentioned that he was definitely grateful to have a spot with the Colts, but he was a little bit surprised that he's not back with the Browns. So I didn't want to paraphrase this or anything. So this was interesting. I do have a little bit of it for us to watch, but what I thought was interesting about this was that Joe Flacco, a backup quarterback, had an introductory press conference. You just don't see this very often. Joe Flacco, when he came to Denver, had one because he was the starting quarterback. But the backup quarterback generally doesn't have an entire media team. And the introductory press conference was a whole event today that took place in Indianapolis. And on top of that, we know that Anthony Richardson does have some injury concerns. He got hurt pretty early last season. Is he going to be able to come back? It seems like kind of like Pittsburgh with sending Justin Field, to sit behind Russell Wilson because they were trying to do right by Justin Fields and get him into a situation where he could potentially actually hit the field. Well, Joe Flacco to the Colts kind of feels like that too. So let's take a look at. And Bill said, "Do they really think Richardson isn't going to be ready?" I think they think he's going to be ready, but I just don't know because the way that the city is receiving their backup quarterback just it's not really jiving with what is normal. It is the off season, so people tend to blow things out of proportion. But it was only 15 minutes. I figure we'll watch like two to 3 minutes of it and then cut it. But yeah, I was shocked to see how big of an event this was today. So let's take a look.
So, I guess we haven't, we weren't in Cleveland, don't know what your thought process was, but just kind of after last season, were you fully committed to wanting to play this year? And then what was free agency like for you?
Yeah, I was fully committed. I've been fully committed to playing. I mean, I haven't really thought about not playing football. So, yeah, to answer that for sure, I'm excited to be on a team and have a idea of what the next couple months are going to look like. What was the second part of that?
Just like what having those various opportunities coming off the last season, was it? I guess it was probably nice to be wanted, right?
Well, yeah. Listen, I mean, it was obviously a little bit different than last offseason where I didn't get any calls at all. But even this offseason, I mean, I thought I wasn't really sure how it was going to go. It wasn't like I played a ton of games last year or anything like that. But definitely grateful for Indy to reach out and have this as an opportunity.
So Flacco is going to bring this up, but he's got a good point because his stock, if you were to look at it on a paper, right? You got it. You have this plateau, then you have I guess it's a little too slow. You have this plateau, and then you have this giant increase from his Ravens, right? And then they draft Lamar Jackson. He starts to do this, and then he becomes a Bronco, right? I would say right in the middle of his prime, or right on the middle on the downward part of his career. He goes to Denver, and we're like, yeah, we'll invest in it. See, it wasn't a grand slam. We were hoping. It was a project. It was an experiment. That tells you Joe Flacco wasn't at his peak. He was right here. So halfway down, he sucks in Denver. He's absolutely awful. And this is going to be his rock bottom where he dips closer, lower than he was even when he first was drafted. So then, right, he bounces around. I don't think he moves a lot, right? He might move up here because of that Jets game where he came back, not last year, but the year before. I believe it was week 2. They kicked an onside. They got it. They scored a touchdown. They did it again. It was crazy. That brought him back up a little bit. That game really resurrected his career. But then you have him winning comeback player of the year, and he comes up to, still under, he's still, this is a backup quarterback we're talking about. But Joe Flacco winning comeback player of the year was definitely, definitely something that made teams interested in him, because last year nobody called for Joe Flacco last year. And he's going to mention that in a second, but it's like, you go from having a whole offseason where it's like, okay, am I going to just be that guy that gets called in October when someone gets hurt? And it's worth noting that Joe Flacco, I don't know if he's in that position, because the Colts might be like, no, like you might have to start. So we need you here now. And he might be like, oh man, I like when I just show up in October, November. Can we do it when the weather gets a little bit colder? But Joe Flacco was in that position last year because nobody wanted him in the offseason, not because it was strategic. This year, he is wanted, and that's why he's not going to have to wait till September. And Bill, he says he's only asking about Joe Flacco because he's not sure Daniel Jones is going to be ready. No, totally get that. But your new starting quarterback is Drew Lock. I know that they haven't announced it yet, but I'm pretty sure that that move for Drew Lock was 100% about, like, they're going to try to draft a quarterback, but Drew Lock is plan B. Okay. Daniel Jones isn't even plan C. I'm telling you, I have a good faith on this. This is a solid word. This is one of the most reputable people I know when it comes to NFL. His name is Rich Eisen. Well, when he got back from the combine, he does this thing where it's like top 5 rumors going around from owner to owner. And one of the very first rumor that populated on this chart was about the Giants are done with Daniel Jones. DONE, done. So when I heard that from Rich Eisen, I mean, I'm going to take him. I'm going to take his word for it. His word is better than mine, or anybody else really for that matter. It's not gross. It's BCAAs, and I thought it was water. When you're not expecting what you drink. Bill said that injury guarantees for Daniel Jones is still out there. So I'm with you on possibility of a post-June first cut. Yeah. No, Bill. This is NFL with Kyle. This is literally like what I really want to build this channel to is just a group of people that love their football teams, that want to talk about their football teams. And right now, you're the only one. But hopefully soon it'll be a lot of people derailing me about their teams. That's what I want. I would actually rather do that than go through storylines. I would rather give, my opinion, but I don't have that many questions being asked right now. Like, I just saw Grassy stream. I jumped over there actually after you said that, and it was a great story about getting hired. We're not letting you leave without a job offer. I love that story, but man, you look at the comments just, and I'm like, dude, I would have a field day with those comments. Hopefully, no, not hopefully. It's just a matter of time. It's all perfect timing. Grassy was doing this a long time before he, made it, if you will. And Bill said, I did retweet it, which I saw, and I wanted to say thank you. I meant to open up with that. I appreciate the retweet.
I'm not sure what you're trying to edit.
I'm not trying to edit anything. Just my computer listening to me without permission. Okay, so Joe Flacco. Let's finish the Joe Flacco.
What were your discussions? What are your expectations here with the young quarterback already on the roster?
Yeah, listen, I mean, I've kind of been in this role for a handful of years now. Obviously, last year was a little bit different because I wasn't anywhere. I was able to come in and play pretty quickly. But yeah, it's just about being in the room with him, and you know, a lot of conversations naturally come up when you spend so much time together in a room. So it's just kind of, I think, being able to bring the experience and being able to help him simplify things and go out there and play fast and use his skill set the way he wants to.
You got traded, I think, mid-season when you were in Philly, but that still gave you a lot of time with Shane. What's that relationship like, and what you learned about him in that time?
Yeah, Shane's great, and I think he does, some pretty cool stuff offensively, and gives the quarterback a really good chance to play his best football. So that's probably the most exciting thing about being here with him.
Joe, you said you still want to play. And last year when you weren't getting calls, did you think maybe this is done? You never let your mind.
Yeah, I was optimistic that I was going to get a call early on, like over the summer. I figured I'd go through training camp and all that, but I figured once the season started, at some point I would get a call. And to be honest with you, it was right around that point that I ended up getting a call that I was probably starting to have a little bit of doubt that it was going to actually happen. So yeah, it creeps in, I guess, a little bit just because I was actually sitting at home last year. Yeah, apparently. It's
All right, so that was Joe Flacco and Bill. Someday this won't be just our. Yeah, no, I'm always gonna see. Oh, Bill's comment. Where's Bill? Where's Bill's comment? But yeah, so first he was on a flight to Cleveland where he would go from couch dwelling veteran to the white hot leader of a Browns team that reached the playoffs. Then he was back on the couch. I don't know what this whole thing is with the couch, but the writers are really leaning into it. Then he was back on the couch, this time in an offseason, brought about by a blowout loss to the Houston Texans on Super Wild Card weekend. Now he's in Indianapolis where he will back up Anthony Richardson. And you hear what he was saying too about Anthony Richardson and being there and being able to help him and stuff like that. So what I actually think's going on with this is that they're like, hey, Flacco is he's been in the league a long time. He's a veteran. He knows what it takes to succeed. That's the kind of guy that we want in Anthony Richardson's corner. Like, of course you have the injury guarantees and all of that, but aside from that, Joe Flacco is an asset. He's a coach. He can talk to him. Oh, when they're in the quarterback meetings, hey, why did you know that? How did you know that? And I think that's really what this has to do with. Like, it's possible that they just signed Joe Flacco to essentially be a mentor for Anthony Richardson. You can't do that by signing him in November. You got to sign him now before OTAs and before everything kicks off. So that to me is what's going on. But Flacco still wants to lace up those cleats. He's not done playing football. He wanted another chance to play football. He rediscovered his love for a game, which he made clear towards the end of that interview. He rediscovered his love while he was a Brown, that whole season he had, and he wants to prove he can still sling it. So after being forced to ride with Gardner Minshew, who moved on to the Raiders on a 2-year, $25 million deal, for most of 2023, the Colts understood the importance of a reliable backup, and they liked what they saw in Flacco. Flacco's decision to sign with the Indianapolis Colts included the general concession that he wouldn't have a chance to compete for the starting job in 2024. But as he found in 2023, that doesn't mean he won't see the field at some point. And not just Flacco learned that. We all learned that with, I believe, 66 starting quarterbacks starting 66 quarterbacks starting a game in 2023. Ideally, Indianapolis never needs Flacco to take the field unless it's in garbage time of a blowout win. He still offers value, though, with what he can share with Richardson. Listen, and that's what you just watched, the whole thing that they have in quotes. So now he's just glad that he can still find employment in the NFL, especially after he received nothing but radio silence at this time last year. Whatever comes of it, Flacco is ready to embrace. I think this is a really, really smart move for Ginger's Colts, bringing in Flacco. Like he wasn't great as a Broncos quarterback, but you're hearing here he rediscovered his love for the game. Will that translate to the field? I mean, he said he rediscovered for his love for a game, but don't forget, he was taking a nap on the bench. Now they were winning, but he was taking a nap last year. I think he was nodding off on the sideline. So but if you know Joe Flacco, I mean, he's the most monotone. That's why they call him Joe Cool. No, they call Joe Burrow that now, but it was always Joe Flacco that was very like ice in his veins. You can't rattle him. He doesn't get excited, really, doesn't get disappointed. He's just very, very unemotional about the way he plays football. I would say, unlike Tom Brady, unlike Peyton Manning, unlike Patrick Mahomes. Um, and I think it's paying off for him. You know, Joe Burrow kind of plays like that. And I guess that's why they call him Joe Cool. So that is just something we kind of brushed over. You know, it's hard to, with all of the moving pieces in the off season, it's really hard to give each one the time that they deserve, including Flacco. You got this carousel going on, and you know we have a 2-hour episode, so it's just like Drew Lock's here, Joe Flacco's here. This, you know, it's a lot. I mean, in the running back musical chairs that took place, I thought about making a skit about that. I did post a short on, I think it was Only Football. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. But it was a really funny short about me getting the Russell Wilson news and then typing in and then seeing on my computer screen that we played the Steelers and me freaking out. And then it kind of goes into, we can't lose to Nathaniel Hackett and Russell Wilson. It's funny if you're a Broncos fan. Maybe if you're not, it's still funny, but definitely for a Broncos fan. Let's beat Tom Grassi to it. The Chiefs are trading cornerback L'Jarius Sneed to the Tennessee Titans. The Kansas City Chiefs are making this trade for a 2025 third-round pick and a swap of 2024 seventh-round picks. Tom Pelissero reported this not too long ago. Pelissero added that Sneed is expected to get a new contract. So earlier in the month, the Chiefs placed the franchise tag on Sneed after he was granted permission to seek a trade. Sneed found out that destination is Tennessee with new head coach Brian Callahan. Around the NFL is going to have more about this in a little bit, but we're going to look on X as we always do, and we're going to see what the overall climate is. Here we go. Sports trending. L'Jarius Sneed. Here we go. The play that franchise cornerback L'Jarius Sneed made to help the Chiefs beat the Ravens in the AFC Championship was, of course, him punching out the ball from Zay Flowers when Zay Flowers was diving to cross the goal line. It looks like Titan fans are really happy about it right now. Why not? He's super physical. He gets in fights. You saw him fighting with I don't know if you saw the mic'd up, but he was fighting with Tyreek Hill for a lot of those games. He's going to go down as an all-time beloved Chiefs player. His punch of the ball out of Zay Flowers' hands on the goal line in the championship game was likely the biggest play of the Chiefs' 2023 Super Bowl winning season. This was reported by Good Morning Football's Peter Schrager not too long ago with a picture of the retweet. Here's Chiefs Patrick Mahomes just a few hours ago on wanting to keep L'Jarius Sneed. That he gets his money regardless. Let's let's take a look at it. Oh shit, I lost you guys. Where are you? There you guys are. All right. This is funny. This was literally just a few minutes ago.
The player he is, the person that he is.
I know talks with Snead are still going on. Do you have any say in that? Have y'all reached out to him at all?
No, I don't have any say in that. I mean, I think you'll hear from everybody on our team that, I mean, we want Snead. I mean, the player he is, the person that he is, and he's one of those guys that's hungry every single day. He's in the building, and he's not going to be the most vocal guy. He's not going to be always yelling and screaming, but the mindset that he has and that determination and how he practices, you see it every day, and he leads those guys. And so we want everybody to get their money. And so whatever happens, we'll be excited for him, but hopefully that's with the Kansas City Chiefs.
I know.
Hopefully it's with the Hopefully it's with the Kansas City Chiefs, but of course it won't be. Snead's terms, $19 million APY over 4 years, $55 million guaranteed. So they already got the deal. Damn, Jamie's really on it today. Bill is our GM. So they already have disclosed the contract, which I was not aware of. So thank you for that, Bill. Here we go. Snead traded, finalized the deal. So I guess they finalized this deal as the trade happened, but all that was reported from this one says additionally Snead will sign a new contract that is expected to make him one of the highest paid corners in league history. The deal is contingent on Snead passing a physical, which shouldn't be an issue. But wow, Bill, if you don't mind me asking, where did you get your information on the contract details? Came from Jordan Rannon. All right, Jordan Rannon. So that, according to Jordan Rannon, is the contract, which is once again 4 years, $55 million guaranteed. Honestly, it's a big trade, but it's not Sauce Gardner. I'm sorry. Look, I just think Sauce Gardner, Patrick Surtain, even when Jalen Ramsey was traded to the Dolphins, like there's just other corners. Like this is what you're supposed to do. When you win a Super Bowl, you capitalize because your value is at an all-time high. Now, how much of that is real? For a player like Snead, PFF backs up that he is pretty legit. Let's pull the roster up really quick and let's see how he rated with other. Let's see. Hopefully he's still on the roster. You know how they do this stuff so damn quick now. Ladarius Snead, offense. Here we go. Ladarius Snead. So he ranked 30th on PFF on 120. Oh, check. It's hard to hear me. 1 second. Let me fix that up for you. I didn't realize it was hard to hear. Hold on. Got too much shit open right now. And this is my nightmare. Patrick Mahomes just talking to the background. Close all of it. Here it is. Close. Jeez. All right. Is that better now? Bill? Can you guys hear me now? Oh, okay. So it's going. It sounds good now. I just want to make sure. I don't want to. Damn, I hate that happened. Oh, okay. Okay, sounded okay. Sweet. I just wanted to make sure. So L'Jarius Snead finished 37th out of how many eligible, or 30th out of 127 corners. He had a 72.5 ranking On defense, his rushing defense was a 70.8. His pass rush is 61.6. That's fine. He's not a pass rusher. Coverage was a 73.8, which is where he ranked best. He's 6'1", 192 pounds. He is just turned 27 years old, so he's still got a lot of football left in him. This is a good draft pick. I mean, Louisiana Tech, not a huge college. And if you look at the roster of Kansas City, it suggests that they do a good job drafting guys out of these kinds of colleges. Whereas like the Eagles are going Georgia. Look at some of these players that they got. Nick Jones, Ball State. Jalen Watson, Washington State. Joshua Williams, Fayetteville State. Louisiana Tech, Marshall, Army, South Dakota. They will draft you, in these other colleges that don't get a ton of credit or spotlight during the draft. And Bill said the money info, no worries at all. I'm sure it'll be released pretty soon here, but I do expect it to be pretty high. So let's see if what he was projected to get. Snead contract projection. All right, so here's his franchise tag estimated. Lockdown corner, a career built on versatility. He's a pass rusher, extra. The PFF score didn't back that up. Kansas City was set to pay Snead $19.8 million in 2024 if he plays on the franchise tag. Both sides are reportedly open to the trade, and this was old news. And that's why it happened. So Snead was expected to be one of the hottest names in free agency. The Chiefs were going to pay him $19 million to play, but Snead has obviously taken more money than that, more guaranteed money, and a longer commitment. Good for him. Glad that he's not on the Chiefs. Glad that he is no longer going to be able to intercept any of our quarterbacks. Caleb Williams did speak on the Patrick Mahomes comparison today, and he said, I don't think there's anything I can do that he's doing. It's pretty cool, I'd say, just because everybody watches Patrick and sees all the cool things he can do, Williams said via Zach Gelb of CBS Sports Radio. I always said, even in high school, that I don't think there's anything. Obviously, he's a special player, but I don't think there's anything that I can do that he's doing out there. Look, from one point, it's like awesome that he's being humble and he's not like, hell yeah, I'm the next Patrick Mahomes. But did he take it too far? I don't think there's anything I can do that he's doing out there. What about throwing a screen? I mean, have a little bit of confidence in yourself. Like, I wouldn't even say that about me. I'd be like, yeah, you need me to throw a wide receiver screen, I could do that. But I guess, it is what it is. So Williams will be eligible to enter the NFL in 2024. Of course, former and future NFL coach Sean Payton recently dubbed Williams as a generational player, adding that Williams could be the player who helps spark a draft lottery. He could also be the next player to do what John Elway and Eli Manning did. But that will be the subject of another day. Whew, this is crazy. So for everybody that was, I guess, here when the John Elway happened, like I wasn't even born when John Elway was drafted, but for everybody that was here, was that like public knowledge before the draft, or was that like the day of the draft that happened? I'm interested to know if you can put it in the comments, if you're watching later or whenever. I put another thing in your Twitter. Oh, appreciate that, Bill. And he said he can't intercept any of our passes. I hate to tell you, Kyle, but you play the Colts at home this year. I thought he went to the Titans, though. Oh, Colts on the brain. No, I don't blame you. First off, it's the same division. Second off, I put me and my uncle's pictures on the thumbnail of us in a Colts uniform, and we opened up talking about the Colts for 20 minutes. So no worries there. But yeah, that is definitely going to make Kansas City a worse team. Thankfully, this isn't on the offensive side of the ball because really the defense does have a little wiggle room. It played at a high enough level where I guess you don't have to really worry about them falling apart. Their offense is where you don't want to pull any of their pieces. Really, Patrick Mahomes, Rasheed Rice, and Travis Kelce. That's like those are their weapons. Sky Moore ranked 108th out of 128 wide receivers. Marquise Brown last year was 67th out of 128. So that right there is already a huge jump. And you're like, who's Marquise Brown playing with? Exactly. So I would expect Marquise Brown, and this is, I guess, a statement that I'm not happy to make. Marquise Brown could have a top 25 wide receiver year, and he's definitely worth drafting. Kadarius Toney didn't play enough to qualify, but when he was on the field, he was making a lot of mistakes for the Chiefs. Justin Watson is ranked 80th out of 128, and then Rasheed Rice 14th out of 128. Isaiah Pacheco was 11th out of 59 running backs. So you literally have Travis Kelce ranked second out of 72 tight ends. So you got Travis Kelce, Isaiah Pacheco, Rasheed Rice, and Patrick Mahomes. Like that was the team last year. That was the entire team, and they won a Super Bowl, which is crazy. I thought Noah Gray was surprisingly good. I would expect Noah Gray to be a little bit better next year, utilizing double tight ends more often with Travis Kelce and Noah Gray. This team is going to draft a couple pieces, and they're going to load up here. The reason they couldn't sign Snead to a long-term contract is because they understand what this year is about. I mean, for the Kansas City Chiefs, this year is about making history. This entire year is about how do you want to be remembered. We're already a dynasty per se, but what about the first team to ever win 3 Super Bowls in a row? How does that sound? I think maybe even Travis Kelce would retire after something like that, or maybe he'd go for a 4th and then retire. But I'm pretty sure that this is what this year is all about. And the addition of Marquise Brown was another one that might have been kind of glossed over. Expect Marquise Brown to make a significant impact on this team. He's the wide receiver 2 as it stands right now, and I really do expect the Chiefs to go with the best wide receiver available with the 32nd pick. So much easier to pick at 32 after winning a Super Bowl than it is to pick at, say, 9 after missing the playoffs with a quarterback on contract, or 12. This is so much. Oh, we'll just take the highest talent that falls. Let it fall. That's pretty much what happens at the bottom of the draft. Bill said, I remember now I had Colts on the brim because they did want him, but instead he went to the Titans. So the Colts were also interested in him. There was another player that was like that as well. I forget who it was, but the Colts wanted him and the Titans went in and they signed him to a deal immediate. Oh, it was Calvin Ridley signing with the Titans. And it wasn't the Colts, it was Jacksonville. Jacksonville said that they were interested in running it back with Calvin Ridley, and then the Titans offered him the money immediately. I think that's what it was. It might have been the Colts too, but I know the Jags were interested. But all right, so going up into the draft every Friday night, I'm doing a mock draft. Why? Because I have a lot of fun with it. Every time I do it, I get to know the players a little bit better. I also get to try different strategies. I've been pretty consistent with my my current strategy. And by the way, about the Chiefs trying to three-peat. They are ranked as the NFL's best team right now. But then you have their strength of schedule, which I wanted to take a quick look at. Here it is. Strength of schedule for the Chiefs, not 32. Remember, 32 is the hardest. 12. The Chiefs have the 12th easiest schedule next year. Can you believe that shit? It's like, damn, dude, you won the Super Bowl. Can we at least put it in the bottom half? But we can't. All right, let's do this. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it again. PFF. Here we go. All right. Oh, it does that every time. Once I click that, it opens another tab. Here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the official mock draft simulator. My name is Kyle, and today I'm going to be drafting using the Denver Broncos. This is going to be 7 rounds. I'm going to turn it down from turbo to fast. We're going to take the randomness and leave it right here. Draft for needs. Yeah, right about there, because sometimes it's like, what need are they going to go for? So I don't want it to be like super robotic, or I could just do this myself. And we are going to enter the draft. Now, I'm not totally sold on the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Justin Fields thing. So I do wonder if I could find a way. I wonder if I could, what if I could move up to 1? What would it cost? That's it. That's what it would cost. That's actually not, it's not the worst thing in the world, right? What if we could This is what it would be. So first round next year, second, third, and a fourth. First, oh my god. Dude, that is totally the opposite direction that Denver needs to be going in right now. I like Sam Howell. I'm going to see how the board falls, and we'll make a decision depending on what the board's looking like at 12. I do think the Vikings are going to trade up in front of the Giants to get JJ McCarthy and easy. How do they get to 5? What are they going to give the Chargers? Well, what do the Chargers want at 5? Of course, they want a wide receiver. It's no mystery. Why don't they just give them their first and JJ Justin Jefferson? Guess what? All of a sudden they're at 5. And if they really want to go up the board to here, they can get there too. So the Vikings have a lot of different things they can do. So they've already moved up to 11. Okay. The next move could be here. And then they would be probably packaging that 5th and something else to get up here. But the Vikings have, unlike the Steelers, unlike the Falcons, unlike all of the teams that have acquired a quarterback, they have not named Sam Darnold the starting quarterback. Oh, I wonder why, right? So let's start the draft and see how this goes. Caleb Williams goes number 1 overall. Drake May falls to number 2. Jaden Daniels, Marvin Harrison Jr., Joe Alt, a tackle. The Giants land JJ McCarthy. Wow. The Giants get to stay at 6 and get JJ McCarthy. And then Malik Neighbors. Then we got Dallas Turner, Jared Verse, a tackle, a wide receiver. Now here's Denver on the clock. There are Bo Nix on the board, Michael Penix Jr. on the board. I think I might like Michael Penix more than Bo Nix. There are two teams that are currently interested in trading up. One of them is the Saints. They just want to move up 2 picks. Now, they have let's see, 170. These aren't great picks. Would they give me a first next year? No. So I guess I could take 150, 160, 175, 190, 195. I could take all of their picks. I could literally take all of their picks. Give me a 6 as well. I'm getting greedy over here. You know what? You know what I actually want? No. Don't get greedy. Don't get greedy. All right. I'm moving back 2 spots. All right. I receive a lot of kind of bullshit picks, if we're being completely honest, but this is the kind of draft where if you're telling me that only 10% of people drafted from pick rounds 5 to 7 only make it, then let's get some more opportunity. Like let's increase our chances by increasing our picks, right? Simple. Um, I did get a haul. I only moved back 2 spots, so we'll resume the draft. And there are 4 teams that want to move up with me right as it stands right now. Brock Bowers is one of the best tight ends available. He's definitely a first round talent. He dropped all the way to 14. I would love to take Brock Bowers. But like I said, I don't know if we have the luxury to be acting like this. So let's look at the teams that want to draft. So we got Miami, Minnesota, Tampa Bay, and Cleveland. Cleveland's picking at 54. So if they wanted to move, I'm sorry. So if they wanted to move all the way up the board, that would have to mean that they're going to give me a shit ton of shit. Now the question is, which player do I want? Well, of course, I need the quarterback. Bo Nix is supposed to go around 33. Michael Penix is supposed to go at 46. And I need to make sure that I don't pick at 54. So this is really enticing. But maybe if I move back to 26, there will be a team in the 40s that wants to move up. So instead of doing this one, I'm going to try to do one of these in hopes that next time I'm on the clock, a team wants to trade like the 40th pick for my 23rd. And the Minnesota Vikings are the team that wants to move up. So here you go. You got my 14th pick. I get your 23rd. Oh, and let's see. Let's see if I can take those picks. Wow. They're not budging on that. I wasn't going to do it anyway. I just wanted to see how ridiculous that would be. All right, so they got a pick at 23. I can get a 3rd rounder next year. I don't like this. I don't like their picks. Look at this gap, 23 to 108. Let's go with let's see what. All right. All right, this is a little bit better now, keeping in mind that we need to not go below 30 right now. So they 23 next pick is 57. Yeah. But we're just doing this once to do it again. So I don't like the Vikings. I'll do it with the Dolphins. So we'll do you'll move up 7 picks, but I'm going to need 55 and a 3rd rounder next year. I still don't feel like that's good value. I feel like I'm getting shafted right here. Damn. They're really desperate, huh? They will move up 7 spots, and in turn, I get the 23rd, 108, 129, 157, 167. Holy shit. That's so much. What if I give you 76 and I'll give you some of the BS ones? Here, we'll start down here. And then a 6th rounder next year. 2 6. No, I want to keep those for next year, actually. We'll do 14. You'll get 76. Then I'm taking myself off the clock just to get a first rounder next year. If I was going to do that, I'm going to have to do it with this team. I'm okay with this. You know what? I'm totally okay with this. You know why? Because I'm going to take Cleveland's first round pick next year. Okay. So that automatically is going to replace my pick. I'm going to get at 54. I just don't like that I'm not picking in the 30s. It sketches me the hell out. A third, a first, a third, and 54. It's just hard to say no to taking a first round pick. Because that means next year I'm literally picking 2 players in the first round. I love that. But who's going to have the worst pick out of these teams? Probably the Vikings, right? All right. So they'll do that. They'll give me their first next year in order to move up to 14. And then I'll take their 23rd. Hold on. But I'll give them 76. Okay. Let's see. Can I give them 121 and 145? 150. Let's try this. All right. I like this a lot more. I'll give you 170 as well. No, I like that I'm picking back to back here. So you can have 145 because I'm picking at 147. Actually, give me 145. You can have 121. Would you take 136? Okay, here we go. This is pretty solid. I get a first rounder next year on a team that I don't think is going to be doing really well. Would they give up Jordan Addison? I think they would. But honestly, we're good at receiver. Like we have Tim Patrick, Cortland Sutton, Marvin Mims, all under contract. I do want to probably draft one rookie, but I wouldn't necessarily trade this pick for a receiver. Or I would probably draft one right here. But I like the thought process. I do. I thought about it myself, to be totally honest. Jordan Addison, let's just see what they're like now. All right, so I got these picks. I got that from New Orleans. I got that from Carolina. I got that from New Orleans. So really, I'm giving them 14. They're giving me 23. I'm moving back a couple, 8, 9, 10 spots or 9 spots. I'm moving back 9 spots, and I'm taking their first rounder next year. This is highway robbery. And P for the B for Bill, and trade accepted. So here we go. They get a good amount of picks, but I get their first round pick next year. That's going to be huge. And I still have my 23rd overall pick, which now I am on the clock. There's one team that wants to move up. They pick at 34. Perfect. This is exactly what I wanted. And now I can get in at 68, 103. I'll give you 145. Or actually, I'll give you 170. And you give me 137. I'll give you 19. I'll give you. Let's try this. Oh, they wouldn't take it. I'll give you the 6th rounder from New Orleans I got. And I'm going to take my lowest. Take that one off. All right. Let's see what it is. All right, let's try a 7th. Done. All right, so New England gets 170, 203, 207. Now, look, I acquired all of these picks from other teams. I didn't even trade any of my own picks besides round 7, the Denver Broncos. And I get 34, 68, 103, and 137. So we're still in the first round, and I think that this is exactly what Denver needs to be thinking in their first round. So we will resume it. We are looking, and on the clock, we have Bo Nix available. All right. I like Michael Penix here. He's supposed to be going around, let's see. Michael Penix is supposed to be going at 46. So my next pick is at 68. So if a team does want to trade with me, and one more time, Michael Penix is supposed to be going at 46. So this 41 for my 34, totally lopsided, they're saying. But I could get their 88th pick as well. That gives me another pick before I go on this run here. I would like 88 and 91 if I can give them 103 and 121, or even better, something lower, 190, 190. No. What about the 137? And they're like, no, bro, that's terrible. How about these two? I got that 6-rounder from New Orleans. Because then I'm finally getting my quarterback, but I'm also getting 60, 70, 80, 90, 100s. Yeah, take 120 and 137, and I'll exchange those for these two. And then now I just need to find something that I'm willing to get rid of. How about like a 6-rounder from New Orleans next year? And you know what's even more likely? This is the Green Bay Packers. Cortland Sutton. All right. Cortland Sutton and 168. Look, it's time to pay Cortland Sutton after this year anyway. I would actually even rather get rid of Garrett Bowles probably, because yeah, Garrett Bowles straight up. How about this? And a 2nd rounder next year. How about a 3rd? And I'll give you a 6th. I'll give you 2 6 for another 3rd. I'm okay next year if I have 2 firsts, a 2nd, and 3 3rds and a 4th. That's still 7 picks, all in the first 3 rounds, pretty much. So, yeah, I'm okay with this. You can have Garrett Bowles. I'll draft my new left tackle. You can have 34. Give me 41, 58, 88, and 91, and a 3rd next year. You're welcome. Boom. And if you do the draft this way, now the draft is officially begun. So as you can see here, now I'm on the clock. Bo Nix has fallen. I thought I was going to have to go with Michael Penix, but right here, let's see. The next team is 58, so I'm not going to pass here. I'm drafting Bo Nix. He's not supposed to be on the board. Bo Nix, welcome to Denver. All right, so back on the clock. Michael Penix is here. Could have drafted him actually here, crazy enough. Jatavion Sanders was supposed to go at 51. Let's take a look. I'm interested in tight end this year. Played really good against TCU, Alabama, and Texas Tech. Run block grade is receiving grade is a 79. Let's see his trends. Sanders is a tier 1 athlete for the tight end position. He's still mastering the nuances of tight end play, and he needs more of a mean streak consistently as a blocker. However, even with those concerns, what he brings to the table as a vertical threat is worth a top 50 pick. He's a true athlete, long speed, acceleration, moves like a giant wide receiver, can run any route, has the intangibles to be a good blocker, but isn't physical enough at times. I think this guy might be our guy. Jatavion Sanders falling here. Where am I back on the clock here at 68? I'm actually going to get Polk Polk is supposed to come off the board at 59. I just don't have a ton of faith that he's going to fall to 68. So I'll take Polk. He's one of the best wide receivers in this draft, and hopefully he can learn. Jermaine Burton was supposed to go at 52, even higher. Let me really quick look up wide receiver ranking NFL draft 2024. So the wide receivers, all right, of course, Marvin Harrison, Malik Neighbors, Rome Adunes. Let's see, I can. All right, so you got Marvin Harrison, Malik Neighbors, Rome Adunze. But then you have Mitchell, Brian Thomas, of course. We drafted him last time, if you remember correctly. And then Jermaine Burton, here he is, 12. Jermaine Burton's potential in the NFL is intriguing. He possesses the raw tools, speed, ball skills, and physicality to be more. Burton's got wheels. He can gobble up turf with long strides. What's his height and weight? He's 6 foot, 31-inch arm span. He ran a 4.4. 22 years old, 4'4". What's our height and weight? 196, 6 feet. I'm just not getting that warm and fuzzy feeling here. Should I draft Michael Penix Jr. to compete with Bo Nix for the starting job? Because I literally will. And not just because this isn't real. Like, I think that's really potentially, I'm surprised we don't see more teams do that. Why not? Yeah, one of these isn't going to work. We're okay with throwing one away if we double our odds of getting one in the first place. So also on the board, we had Polk. So I wanted to see where Polk is coming in. He's probably just underneath right here. Jalen Polk presents a compelling case as a wide receiver prospect. His time at Washington has showcased his ability to be reliable. He ran a 4.5, which is a little bit slower, but Randy Moss wasn't fast. Let's see. I'm gonna draft Jatavion Sanders to be my tight end. I think that's the move here. He fell. He was supposed to go in the top 50. Now here we are in the 60s, and he's available. Jatavion Sanders, you're a Bronco. And here we are back on the clock. Jonathan Brooks is the best running back in this draft. That's what they say. Jalen Wright's right here. Spencer Radler's also available. Jalen McMillan is available. McMillan is where he's ranked 20th. He has a lean frame. Exceptional athleticism makes him a receiver with some serious upside, especially due to his vertical. Holy crap, guys. His vertical was 37 inches, which is in the 80th percentile of wide receivers. Really good upside. He's been a star his whole life. He was a 4-star recruit in high school. In 2020, he saw only 3 games of action. And then as a sophomore, he played in 11 games. As a junior, he played in 12 games. And as a senior, he had an injury-riddled season. He has a lean build complemented by an elite baseline speed burst. He is 6'1", 197. I kind of like the idea of drafting McMillan. I know Javon Baker's one that I really like too. So I think I'm going to draft the best running back in the draft because here we are at 56. And let's be honest, Jonathan Brooks isn't supposed to be here right now. And, if all of let's see, I'll look at the positional ranking, just make sure nothing's changed here at running back. Best running back in the draft is still considered to be Jonathan Brooks, and then Jalen Wright, then Blake Corum, and then Trey Benson. So I think, to be honest, though, like I'm so worried about not getting a bad grade because every time I draft another positional need, it tells me that you know, oh, you got a C on that one. I'm like, why? Kyrie Jackson, corner out of Oregon. I've been wanting a new corner for the Broncos really bad. So I would be okay with this one, but I just have a feeling like he might be available when I'm on the clock again in 10 picks. So that's Kyrie Jackson. Where does he rank in the cornerbacks and safeties? Looking right now, Jackson, Kyrie. Here he is, Kyrie Jackson, 20th. Kyrie Jackson's transition from a high-rated JUCO prospect to making his mark at Oregon demonstrates his versatility and adaptability. Holy crap, 6'4". 6'4". Damn. He all right, take your time. My computer's giving me the spinning wheel of loading. Well, I can't. All right, I just have to wait for my computer for a second. And Bill, he said, I'd take the tight end. It worked for the Chiefs. You want to beat them, so be them or beat them first. Beat the Chiefs? He's saying beat them with their own medicine, huh? The hell, computer? Why are you doing this right now? You've literally never done this. All right. Well, in the meantime, I guess all I can do is wait. Oh yeah. No, I did take him. Sorry. This stupid spinning wheel. I don't know. I don't know what this even means. It's that color wheel spinning, telling me to wait, and my computer's. Let's see if I can. Application not responding. Right. I don't know what to do. I can close all windows and then just hop back in. All right, I'll do. Oh, but then I'm going to lose my draft. Come on, just fix yourself. Let's go. Just going to give this a second. Oh, actually, I'm going to D for the P really quick. And hopefully this shit is done loading. right, computer, are you done? Yay, the wheel's gone. Oh, no, the wheel's not gone. Let's see. Can I type anything? Oh, God. Let's see. The heck? All right. Let's see if this helps. All right. Well, that definitely fixed it, but is my draft this stupid computer, man, just screwed me. It made me force quit. God, hopefully I didn't have anything important open. Oh, no way. There we go. Okay. Sorry, Bill. Jingle that handle, Kyle. Right, share screen. Okay. No, I did this last time. Now I got to do it again. All right. So it didn't save my progress, so I'm not going to spend as much time in the first couple rounds. I selected 7 rounds, right? Yeah. All right. So the board, ooh, it fell the same exact way. And instead of doing this, we'll move. All right, I'll give you 26. You get 12. But I want 58, 89. Oh, would they do a first next year? Ooh, Tampa's first next year. Damn, that's attractive. I like this though. 4 picks in the top 100 with a third. I'll give you a 4th. How about that? Woo! Trade accepted. All right. And then now I'm on the clock at 26, and I wanted to get to 33. The next pick is at 38, and I'll give you that, but you got to give me a second next year. No, I want stuff this year. I'll take 106 and a second next year. Give me a second, and I'll give you 121. I'll give it. Let's see if that will go through. Wow, that went through. All right, so I got a second round pick next year, and I got a first round pick next year as well. So my remaining picks now, 2025, as you can see, I got a first, 2 seconds, 2 thirds. And now here I am on the clock at 38. And Bo Nix is on the board. My next pick is at 57. I really want to get Michael Penix Jr. I'm feeling that more. The best safety, one of the best safeties on the board. Top safeties, NFL draft. So I haven't seen this safety out of NFL draft. Oh my God, this isn't Google. Of course it's not, because every time I don't use Google, I don't get what I'm looking for. All right. So the safeties ranked. You got Tyler Nubin out of Minnesota. Wow. So this is literally the best safety in the draft. Tyler Nubin. He was supposed to go at 25. I'm at 38. I am going to be able to draft the best safety in the draft. Holy crap. And now, wait, 57? Well, I guess we're going with Spencer Radler. That wasn't supposed to happen. It's all right. When did Michael Penix get picked? Michael Penix went at 45. Bo Nix and Michael Penix went back to back. Spencer Radler. A lot of people are pretty high on Spencer Radler. I'm not gonna infatuate myself with this quarterback position. I'm just not. The best edge in the available is Chris Braswell. Let's see, where does Chris Braswell rank? Chris Braswell rankings. Chris Braswell. Is it Boswell? No, that's a kicker. Chris Braswell. Oh, that's what I did wrong. Chris Braswell ranking. Wow, second. He is projected to go in the second round at 37. Let's see, first round, 12% chance of going in the first round. So let's see. Top edge rushers draft. So the top edge rushers in the draft. I know number 1 is Jared Verse, of course. And then at number 2, we have Dallas Turner. Or no, Dallas Turner's number 1, then Jared Verse. Then Latu from USC. Then Chris Braswell, number 4. Even if he doesn't become a pass rush technician, his power, speed, and length present a rotational role as a floor and an impact starter as a ceiling. Chop Robinson right behind at 5. I like Chop Robinson, but Chris Braswell is projected a little bit higher. Let's see how much further Chop Robinson's down the board. I guess far enough for me to go with Chris Braswell. So we'll grab a good edge rusher right here. He's supposed to go at 37. We're getting him at 57. That's pretty good. All right, back on the clock. So far we have moved back, and we moved back twice. And then we drafted the best safety available, Tyler Nubin. Then we got the best edge rusher in the draft. As you can see, edge and safety. It doesn't say safety, but it is a need. Corner is also a need. And let's see, who are the best running backs available right now? Let's see, best corners available. You got them supposed to go around 80. Max Milton, some Florida State corners. Florida State normally has some pretty solid corners. Let's just do all positions. So Spencer Radler is the next quarterback to go. I'm gonna draft next at 89. There are some teams that want to move up. I'll move back 4 spots. But what would they give me? How about you give me 115, and I'll give you my 203, and then you give me your 97, and I'll give you my 106. I'll give you one. Let's see, and a 7th next year. How about a 6th next year? Okay, we'll try this. I get 80, 97. So just for moving back 2 spots, I'm going to swap 106 for 97 and 203 for 115. For 4 moves back, I do have to give a 6 next year, but I think this is good value. Then it was good value. That's why they wouldn't accept it. How about you guys? Instead of 203, I'll give you 207 as well. And I'll take off my 106 now. All right, whatever. Let's see if I can do this. No, they need at least a pick at 106. So I think this is good. I'm gonna get 97 and 115 in exchange for these two, and then they can have the 7th and the 6th. But since they're still willing to get, so we'll just swap 6. Wait a minute, we're gonna swap 6, and we're gonna swap this pick, and we're gonna exchange these two, and I'm just gonna throw you the 207th pick. Yes! Oh, that was a good one. That was a good one. Those are the kind of moves we need to make. And now I'm back on the clock, and now I'll get Spencer Radler. And Bill's saying right here, Spencer can sling it, no doubt. All right. Well, I love this idea because it's like, not only are we not reaching for a quarterback, when you're not desperate, you have the luxury of just letting it fall. So, like, however this falls, it falls. And plus, if Spencer Radler doesn't work out, so be it. We're going to have 2 first-round picks next year. And if he doesn't work out, they're going to be high first-round picks. But at least we're drafting somebody to bring some excitement and hope to Broncos country. Spencer Radler, you're a Bronco. Back on the clock at 89. Trey Benson here, the best running back in the draft, in my opinion. I will be taking Trey Benson. And now back on the clock again. Damn, we're really going on a run here. Cedric Van Pran supposed to go around 93. I'm picking again at 97. Hopefully I would assume Cedric, or let's see who's ahead of me right now. So the Ravens need a corner, so they could draft him. But they don't need a center. They don't need a center. The 49ers, and no center. Ooh, Jacksonville needs a center. So if I do move, ooh, wow, they want to move all the way back like that. Wow, I can't do that right now. So I think I got to go. Man, I think I got to. I'm going to draft. Which one do I want more? That's the real question. Renardo Green. Let's see where he ranks on the positional side. Corner back ranking 2024 draft. All right, so you got the top 3: Kool-Aid, TJ, Kamari Lattiser, Kyrie Jackson. Those are your top 10 in the draft. So going a little bit further down the board, outside of the top 10, you have Mike out of Michigan, and you have Chris out of Iowa. Then we get to 13 and 14. We hit Kyrie Jackson and Jerry and Jones, 20. So here we are, 20th best corner in the draft in Renardo Green. They're actually saying that Jerry and Jones is the number 20. I'm curious to know where Green is then. Wow. Green must be on the first page, and I blew right past him. No. Yeah, so I guess in this situation, I will I'll draft the center probably, but it's one pick early. But Cedric Van Pran, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. I'll go to offensive line. Let's see, where does Cedric Van? Here he is. Cedric Van Pran. Wow. Not great arm strength, but his 3-cone was surprisingly really good. 6'4", 298 pounds. From Louisiana, athleticism with impressive range and lateral agility, enabling him to excel in various blocking schemes. And let's take one more look. So how many centers were on the board before him? So you got Joe Alt, who is not a center. So they just call themselves offensive tackles now. It's so confusing. I think in this situation, let's see, 120 is the next pick. Just everything's for sale. You know what I mean? Everything's for sale. So let's just see what would this look like. Yeah, you're not even gonna give me a third. Then I'm not interested. Sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna get Cedric Van Pran to replace Lloyd Cushenberry. And I'm back on the clock, and here he is, Jerrion Jones. This is the corner I wanted. This 97. He was ranked at 98. Florida State makes good corners, actually. Corners and running backs. Not really quarterbacks, but corners, I can feel good about this pick right here. So we've addressed quarterback. We haven't addressed wide receiver. So I do want to take a look, since we are only 3 picks from being outside of the top 100. Brendan Rice out of USC. So Brendan Rice, this is probably near like the 20th. Let's see. Brendan Rice is the 19th best wide receiver in the draft. He's 6'2", 208 pounds, hailing from a lineage of football royalty. Whoa. He comes from, this is Jerry Rice's son. Oh, are you kidding me? Oh my God. That's all I needed to know. That's all I needed to know. All right, so here we go. Back on the clock. We got a receiver. We got an edge. We didn't get a corner yet. Let's see. Best value on the board is a tackle. We don't really need any more pieces on the offensive line. We did need a center. I would take a left tackle, but probably around 120. Nobody really wants to move back right now. Let's go through some positions. So we got Will Shipley available. Estime, the running back out of Notre Dame. Where does he rank? Running back. I haven't heard too much about him. I'm curious. Notre Dame. Oh, he must have been on the first page. Blake Corum, Jonathan Brooks, Blake Corum, Trey Benson. 7th. 220 pounds, 5'11". Oh, I remember watching this dude play. This dude's a freaking beast, actually. I just saw his picture and had flashback. I was watching the USC Notre Dame game, and he was going off. He's got robust physique and leg strength, enable him to break through arm tackles, create his own running lanes, demonstrates excellent patience between the tackles, and swiftly attacks even narrow gaps, falls forward on contact, my favorite, shows a burst of impressive lateral agility, complementing his power running style. I like this. I think this is a good pick for us. 7th. We got the 7th best running back in the draft here at 115 falling to us. How much are we reaching? Not too far. This is a good pick for us. He's going to be in the backfield because Samadre Pirine, he's a great RB3, but last year, I've said this before, yet last year he was an RB2. And there's definitely, no scenario where Pirine should be RB2. In my opinion, I think he's a great RB3, but I think this is somebody to come in and challenge Javonte Williams for that starting job. That's what we want. We want a draft competition. Back on the clock at 136. We have, let's see, we got the best edge rusher. One of the best edge rushers, right? Or now I'm like mixing my drafts. I'm thinking about the one that we started with. Josh Newton. We do have 4 teams that are interested in Bill here, Giants. They want to move up the board. All right. What are you going to give me? Let's see. I want Jalen Hyatt. And you can have 136. Wow. I just moved back 5 spots and got Jalen Hyatt. Joel is a left tackle. Okay. Sorry, Bill. I didn't see that. So I just moved back only 5 spots and got Jalen Hyatt. Wow. So we got running back out of Notre Dame. We got Jalen Hyatt. We got Spencer Radler. We got the best safety. And I'm trying to think, did we also draft? So we got Tyler Nubin, the best safety. Oh, Chris Braswell. So we got our edge. We got our edge. And we got Rice at receiver. So we go into this draft, and now we got Jalen Hyatt, Jerry Rice's son, Spencer Radler, a running back to throw in the backfield. The Jalen Hyatt competition with Rice, and we have Trey Benson. I mean, we got the best running back in the freaking draft. And then we also got the running back out of Notre Dame. You want to know why we got 2? Is because if Javonte Williams doesn't have a good season this year, he is up to be paid from somebody else. Now, I don't want to be in a situation where we have to, A, pay Javonte Williams money that he probably hasn't earned, or B, move on from Javonte Williams, have Trey Benson, but now need RB2 next year, right? Let's get a whole year under their belt, and they'll see the field. And if Javonte doesn't have a good season, Javonte will be the RB3 this year, not them two. So this is what true competition is. Like, nobody's safe right now. So I'm drafting with that attitude that nobody is safe. And we're going to draft the best talent available, and it's up to you to keep your job. Now, with that said, we're not going to get another running back. That's it. But I do like that we have this competition. I also like that I have 3 picks in the next 10. So this is exactly how we kind of want this set up. So we drafted pretty much everything that we need right now. Now Titans want to move up. Next year we have 2/3, 2 seconds. I would like 2/6. Uh, they're like, no, I'm not giving you that. Well, what about 147? You give me, how about you give me the third you got from or no. Give me a fourth, and I'll give you a sixth. How about you give me a first, and I'll give you 2 seconds. Ooh, shit. Oh, shit. Here we go. Next year, instead of having, let's see, 1, 2, 3 picks in the first 2 rounds, I'll have 2 first rounders and a second. So basically, let's do some quick math here. So I have next year's first. With this trade, I would get another one, and I would have 1 second round pick next year. So a first, and a second. But if I leave things the way they are, in the first 2 rounds, I'll have 1 draft pick, but I'll have 2 seconds, where I only have 1 second. So I'm basically trading 1 second for a first, if you think about it. Well, I would have 3 seconds. So basically, I do lose 1 second round pick, but I turned it into a first. I like this trade. Next year, when things don't go well with Spencer Radler and we're getting ready for the draft with 3 different teams that have given us a first, or it would be only 2 different teams because I'm confusing that last one. But yeah, having 2 first round picks is something I'm highly interested in. Let's see. Not a ton of people that I'm interested in, to be honest. Let me just turn my 2 seconds into a first. We'll swap 141 and 146, and I'll give you some garbage. Here, how about this? Let's see. They would do that. And what about that? And I'll give you that. So you will swap thirds, but what if we're worse than them next year? What about a 141, 145, and 147, a first and a third, and I'll give you a 7th and a 6th? No, they won't do it. Do I want to bet, though, on being better than the Titans? Not really. Not right now. So let's just do it the way that we were going to. You get 141. You give me 146. I give you 2 seconds. And what was it? These garbage ones? Wait a minute. Now they're not interested? Hold on. All right. You get 146. Denver Broncos. Oh, okay. I was confused. Okay, wrong side. Okay, 141 for 146. And then give me a first, and then I'll give you 2 seconds. And a 7th and a 6th. Okay, so that's just a straight up swap. And then I'm packaging 2 seconds, a 6th and a 7th for a first. The 2 seconds is 2 seconds worth of first. Bill, what do you think about this? Do you think this is a good deal? Wonder if they would take 2/3 and so what if I gave you only 1 second and 2/3? Yeah, I'm thinking, I know. That's why I can't pull the trigger. is because I don't like what they're offering me. Who else wanted to? The Commanders? What do you guys? A second and 152 for 141. Third, fourth. Damn, y'all are greedy too. Cedric Gray was a linebacker that I've been looking at too, that played at North Carolina. And the reason I was looking at him was because Josie Jewell signed a deal with I forget who he signed with. I think it was like the Titans, actually. So we actually are in a position where we need a linebacker. So let's see where he ranks again. So the best linebacker was Dallas Turner, and then Chris Braswell is number 2. And I drafted Chris Braswell. So going down the board here, we see, where is he? We're on page 3 now. Getting a little deeper into the draft here. Towards the end, this is when the good teams stay awake and don't here we go. Found him. All right, Cedric Gray. Wait, Cedric Gray. Let me just search him. Cedric Gray, North Carolina. Overview. He's 6'2", 234 pounds, multi-role linebacker, ran a 4.64. Drafted projection is the 4th round. Overall ranked around 114. So this is great value. I mean, we're at 141 right now. 3-star recruit. Then he was a 4-star grade. Wow. Really, really athletic. Good broad jump. Solid vertical. Multi-role linebacker. Let's see. Where's that speed at? Oh, sweet. 4.6. That's fine. That's perfect. So the speed laterally to stop running backs. Let's look at his scouting report. Elite athletic skills made Bruce Fieldman's freak list at number 41. So this Bruce Fieldman's freak list, I draft every player that I see on it pretty much, because that just, you know who else made that list? Anthony Richardson. Just like people that are absolutely just insane doing things with their bodies that they shouldn't be able to do. He wrote, at 6'3", 270 pounds, he has just 11% body fat. And his vertical jump, 36.5 inches, broad jump, 10 feet, and bench press, 390 pounds. This offseason, he topped over 20 miles per hour on the GPS and did 6 pull-ups with a 70-pound belt attachment. Welcome. And did you take Hyatt from us so I could automatically hate you? No, I took Hyatt because I think he has the vertical speed to take the top off the defense. I just he happened to be on your team. So we replaced Josie Jewell. This is literally like if we draft like this, oh my God. Oh my God. There will be hope. There will be hope. There's so much talent in a draft, man. We have to find it. So we got 2 receivers. Who's the best tight end available right now? Ben Sinet. Let's see. Let's look at that. 6'4", 245. Six four, 245. Let's see. What's his name? Ben Sinet. Tight ends are really where you find these gems. Sinet. How do you spell Sinet? Sinnott. Sinnott. Ben Sinat. Here we go. Wow. His vertical jump is in the 96th percentile. His vertical jump was in the 99th percentile. What? Are you crazy? A major factor is his size, strength, and explosive athleticism, but Sinat has a knack for tracking and high pointing the ball. My favorite. He's a coordinated hands catcher who does a nice job of digging out low throws. He's very good with the ball in his hands, a violent runner after the catch. He's coordinated with soft, reliable hands. Yes. All I need to know is, can he block? He can run precise routes. There's no downside. His weakness is just he won't threaten the top of a defense. He's a tight end. I don't care. That's why I have Jalen Hyatt. Yeah, we'll grab the best tight end available. Ben Sinat. Welcome. 99th percentile. Holy crap. All right, Nelson Caesar. I love this pick. You know what they say, you can never have too many edge rushers. I've been big on Nelson Caesar this entire time. I'm not passing him up here. Put Nelson Caesar with Nick Benito and the rookie that we just drafted, Chris Braswell, all in the same room. It's going to be a battle. Boom. All right, so Tampa received the 12th and the 4th pick. I received their 26th pick, a second rounder, a third rounder, and another third rounder. Okay. One of those third rounders was pick 89, 92, and 3. Let's see what I did with 89. I got Trey Benson. So I got the best running back in the draft by moving back. 92, I got my replacement for Lloyd Cushenberry. So center, running back. Let's see, 57, I got the best edge in the freaking draft. And then 26, this went really well for me. So at 26, I traded with the Titans, and I received a second rounder, a fourth rounder, but I received another second rounder next year. And then I drafted Tyler Nubin, which I got an A-. At 57, I took Chris Braswell. That got me an A+. Then I did another trade where I got rid of 2/3, a fourth, and a sixth, and I got a third, a fourth, a sixth, and another sixth. Okay. Other way around. I was like, that's bullshit. Okay. I received a third, a fourth, and a sixth. They got to go up 4 spots, and they received a fourth, a sixth, and a sixth. So this was my favorite trade of the entire draft, actually. And then at 80, Spencer Radler is drafted. That gets me an A. And then Trey Benson and Cedric Van Pran come off the board here. Brendan Rice gets some legendary blood in the locker room. And then we get Audric Estime, Cedric Gray, a B-. My lowest draft grade so far is a B-. Then Ben Sinat, one of the best tight ends. I liked everything I read about this guy. I got a B-. And then Nelson Caesar, the last pick, an A-. So here's our answer at quarterback. Here's our new running back room, Trey Benson and Audric Estime. Our new wide receivers include Cortland Sutton, Tim Patrick, Jalen Hyatt, Marvin Mims Jr., and Brendan Rice. Our tight end, who we just re-signed, Adam Trotman. Now we get to add an actual threat, a pass-catching tight end that we haven't really had since we traded away Noah Fant. And then we get Nelson Caesar to get in the room with Chris Braswell. and try to formulate one of the best pass rushes in the game. And yeah, I wasn't able to address corner in this draft, but McMillan really was emerging at the end of last season. Towards the middle of the season, he had to step in and play, and he looked really good. And I think with the improved pass rush, Denver really struggled getting after the passer last year. But with the improved pass rushing, I expect that quarterbacks will have less time, and having an elite corner won't be as necessary. And we already have Cortland Sutton, so that kind of puts us in a position where we can put two guys on their number 2 option, and use our pass rush to get after him. This is a really, really good option for us because let's see, does it tell me what I go into? I wish it would tell me what I went into. I go into next year with, because I have one first. Look at this. I have a 6th and then a 2nd. I took a 2nd. I took a 3rd. So I believe I had like two 2seconds, 2/3, and 2 for like next year. We're in good shape, and that gives 1 year for us to see is Spencer Rattler good enough to get it done, or if not, we'll address next year. But this is the group of men that I think this is my favorite one almost. We replace, yeah, this is my favorite mock draft that I've done, I think. And now I know Bronco fans aren't going to like it because, let's face it, Spencer Rattler's not the most exciting. Spencer Rattler's not the most exciting quarterback on the board in this draft, not by a long shot. But this is where we're at right now, and by not being desperate, we were able to land the top safety in this draft. So I feel really good about this, and I'm gonna be posting it right now on X. Check out my mock draft. Broncos country. And time for me to get a ton of hate because that's the way it's going to go. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Bill, thank you for joining and coming along. Glad that you gave your input a couple times. Really enjoyed it. So if you guys want to follow me, you can follow me at NFL with Kyle. And you can see me on Mondays and Thursdays on the Only Football Podcast. Let me know in the comments what you thought about my mock draft, what you thought about anything on this episode, or if you have any questions for me, let me know. As always, thank you guys for coming. Please, if you can, like this video and subscribe. That would be awesome. Bill, same to you, brother. Have a great night, and I will see you guys shortly. See ya. See ya.